AGRO avem parte și de o surpriză. Tocmai de aceea voi schimba limba română in English. So from now on we are going to speak just a little bit in English, having in mind that the titles behind of me are also in English: experience, process, fields, harvest and beyond. So beyond looking to the future, we are going to talk about smart technologies for modern agriculture with His Excellency, the Ambassador of Israel in Romania, Mr. Reuven Azar. Thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Bună ziua, sunt foarte bucur să fiu aici. Am inventat românește, dar nu vorbesc foarte bine, so I'll speak in English, if you excuse me. I came here to speak about three main subjects: agricultural innovation, as is applicable today, the climate change, and the future of technology. Let's see. Okay. So the good news are that we are succeeding. You guys are doing a good job because the number of population that is undernourished is dropping constantly. Okay. And life expectancy is going up. It means that farmers are producing a lot and are able to provide for a lot of people. So it means that you have to be competitive because there are many producers of food. So the first challenge that we have, the first question would be how to use modern technology to remain competitive and increase supply. So of course you have to do it through smart agricultural mechanization, right? So there are many ways in which you can do it. One technology, for example, to monitor pests today is through drones. There are many ways in which you can be more precise by using drones. And this is very important, especially if you have a big farm. So this, for example, is a company, Green Eye, that has a technology that can help you with that. So what this company does, it not only monitors how to use herbicides, but through a system, computer system within the device itself, it can spray directly to the herb. Instead of spraying all the field, which is very contaminating, and you lose a lot of material. Here, through a computer, you can have to collect the data and to provide the herb, the substance to the herb itself, so you can kill it. Okay. There are other ways of in which you can use technology today. For example, when it comes to detecting disease. Okay, you can do it with your iPhone. There are applications in which you can go load up to the internet and immediately identify what is your problem. There are ways to check the symptoms and basically to give answers and to give treatment. So, so you can detect and you can identify and then you can treat. Now, of course, it is very important to locate the exact location of where the disease is, in order to be able to give a response to a certain location, not necessarily into the entire field. And here is another technology from Israel, AGRO Scout. If you can raise the volume a bit.
Open the app and select the target area you wish to scout. Then press Start. The app loads the selected flight plan, and the drone switches to autopilot and scans the field. In just 20 minutes, the drone can cover about 50 acres. Skimming over the plants, the drone captures high-resolution images of disease and pest footprints, such as blight in this example. Once the drone lands, the image data is uploaded to the cloud for detection and analysis. Leveraging visual recognition, big data, and artificial intelligence, the AGRO Scout algorithm filters out abnormalities and matches them to its disease and pest image database.
So this is an example of how you can integrate this kind of information. And by the way, all the information of these companies you can get from Maria. Maria, are you here? This is Maria. She's a very nice lady, and she has all the information about the Israeli companies. So if following this presentation you are interested in a certain technology, she will give you the details of the company. Another challenge that we have in the world today is pollination. As you know, the number of bees in the world is rapidly deteriorating, and we have to pollinate. Most farmers lean 75% of them on natural pollination. So we have to pollinate. You can either do it naturally or you can do it artificially, okay? So as I said, there is a challenge because pollinators are disappearing, and we have to deal with that if we want to increase our yields. Now, of course, the next stage is integrating all the information. So if you have all the information that you have detected, if you don't want to lose it, you can create a plan, a computerized plan, to put everything in your computer in order to have a record of what is the problem, what are the solutions you are applying, what are the quantities, what is the price. Everything can be in an integrated system, and there are companies like Trellis that are supplying solutions in that regard. The next thing is, of course, robotics. You know, we are having a problem in the world in which manpower is becoming very expensive, and we don't have enough of it, right? Many farmers have a situation in which their sons or their siblings don't want to continue farming, right? So in Israel, for example, we have that. It's a very severe problem. And we can solve part of that problem by mechanized platforms, okay, and by robotics. So here's one example when it comes to apple harvesting. If you can raise the volume. So here in this case, you have a robot or an automatic vehicle that is capable of detecting the ripe apples and is analyzing the tree. It can do trimming, and of course it can do collection at the right time. Because one of the things that we have to take into account with human pickers is that sometimes they are not very professional. They don't pick the right fruit at the right time, right? So this is is a system in which you can, and this robot, by the way, can work around the clock. It doesn't get tired. You don't have to import them from abroad. You don't have to pay, health insurance, etc., etc., etc. So we have it here as well. As you say, the robot can look, can analyze, can identify, can locate the fruit, can determine whether to pick or not, and of course can pick. So the bottom line is that if you, for example, have a field of 125 acres of apples, in Israel it will cost you more than $300,000 to labor in order to pick all the apples. And here it can be much more cost effective because you can save time and you don't have to deal with the manpower. Okay, is this working? Let's see. Yeah. So this is another example from with robotics picking tomatoes. Okay, here you have the same problem, very labor intensive. You can reduce the labor by using robotics that will identify the tomato, will actually choose whether to harvest, and will do the picking by itself. So I won't show you the entire video. And the same goes to other kind of fruits and vegetables, tomato processing, batata, you name it, carrot, maize, everything can be done with robots, jojoba, etc. So these are basically the idea when it comes to robotics. So this is the first challenge. So these are all technologies that are available today and are applicable today, especially if you want to become competitive and meet the challenge of labor. Okay. The second challenge that we have is how to mitigate the effects of climate, but without increasing the footprint of humanity. What does it mean? Today, the trend is to try and use resources better in a way that you won't harm the environment. So in Israel, for example, we are having a raise in temperatures and we are having a decrease in the water, in the precipitations, and that forces us to use our resources much more effectively. So it means you have to more efficiently use water. I think this is relevant in Romania also for southern Romania and all the places like in Calaraș and Buzău and other places in which you have droughts. You have to use other varieties of seeds. You have to deal with the effect of heat on the animals, and you have to do R&D in order to deal with that. So in Israel, we have a population of about 10 million people. We have only 200,000 hectares, which is nothing compared to Romania, but we don't have enough water. So we are purifying about half a billion cubic meters of water from sewage every year and using it in agriculture. So this is the total use of water in Israel, about 2.4 billion cubic meters. And we have a very fast growing population, so we are using about 35% for urban use, and we are taking the water that is coming out from the cities and purifying about, recycling about 700 million cubic meters and using about more than half a billion for agriculture. So in Israel, we irrigate 70% of our crops with purified water. So why is it important? Because first of all, if you do tertiary treatment of the water, you can use it without any restrictions almost, but you have to have standards of quality. You may think that this is not relevant for Romania. It is becoming relevant. We are in touch with the mayor of Buzău, and in Buzău there is a pilot project of 15 million cubic meters that the municipality wants to purify in order to use in agriculture. This will become more and more relevant in Romania in the future as the droughts continue and the quantities of water become scarcer. So we have to learn the methods of using purified water, and we can develop technologies in order to use it better. So here you have the way it works in Israel. These are the water we use, and these are the when you do a secondary, you can use it for cotton and other non-edible products. So Israel today is leading in the world. We purified 90% of our sewage water, and we use 87% for agriculture. Now, why am I telling you this? Is because this is becoming a high priority for the European Union as well. And if you want to get funds from the European Union to invest in infrastructure water development, the best thing you can do is to connect your farm to a city that purifies water. Of course, this requires other things like cooperation with authorities. Because in the past, for example, the Ministry of Health wasn't part of the system. If you want to use purified sewage water, you want to have a certification from the Ministry of Health. So here, with using purified water, you can transform an obstacle, which is sewage, into an advantage, reduce the ecological footprint, and have a new resource of water, a new resource of economic growth. And there are rules. And the rules today exist at the European level, but yet they don't exist at the governmental level. And we are working together with the Prime Minister's office here in Romania to bring the best practices that we have in Israel in order to start this process over here. So this is an example in Israel. This is a place in which we treat the water, and we take the water from the treatment plants into the field. At the end of the day, we will need the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Environment, and of course the water authorities to cooperate together to provide this new resource to the Romanian farmer. In this way, Israel is able to export. So today we not only didn't shut our agriculture because of lack of resources, but we are exporting to many countries in the world, and we are importing things that we cannot produce, like meat, like grain, from countries like Romania. The third challenge, of course, is the future of technology. What is the future of agricultural technology? So I will tell you a little bit about that, how we use artificial intelligence. Before, there's another thing that is very important and is now trending very fast, and this is the agrovoltaic. You know, in Romania, if you want to use your farm for producing energy, not only for your use, but so you have to switch the purpose of the land, right? And switch it from agriculture to energy, right? Today, there's a possibility to combine between the two. How can you combine between the two? Is because some yields receive enough sun, even if you don't have direct sun all the time. So you can create a situation that you continue growing in your field whatever you want, and you can get 80% of the energy through solar panels and actually have a double use of the land. So this, in this regard, we have pilot projects in Israel. We are starting in Israel now to cultivate some fields in this way with the support of the government. And the leading countries doing research about this are Israel, Germany, Holland, the United States, and more. Now, how we use AI, or we are going to use AI and big data, we will use it for post-harvest because we will need automated processes to analyze crops. And we need to increase shelf life. So all these means are going to be very important in the future. We have to have pest detections using collecting data with cameras and then using algorithms in order to deal better with pests. We can use artificial intelligence in order to improve the health of livestock. We can use it in order to use fertilizers. As I said before, some of the technologies already exist, but in the future they will be much more optimized once you analyze all the big data. And of course, plant diseases is also very important, and the harvest itself. Okay, so in Israel we have several research institutions in agriculture, and they are developing all kinds of projects using, for example, machine learning in order to analyze the situation of every fruit in the field, or sensors that analyze the mineral composition within the plant, or pest traps that do early detection and analyze of invasive species, and so on and so on. I won't go over all the list, but this is basically the idea. Now in Israel, we have an ecosystem of innovative companies that are dealing in all kinds of new technologies in food tech that I haven't mentioned today, like, for example, alternative protein, like algae, like hydroponics, etc. And if you are interested in this, of course, as I said, Maria. Okay? So thank you very much. And if you have any question, please, this is your chance.
So let's see. Applause first of all. Thank you very much. And let's see if there are any questions in the room. I'll be coming to you right away. You're presenting extremely well, Mr. Ambassador, so this is why we have no questions.
So either everything is very clear or you didn't get anything. One of the two.
Once more applause for His Excellency, Mr. Ambassador of Israel in Romania, Reuven Azar. And thank you for sharing the 3 challenges and also their solutions. And congratulations once more for starting learning Romanian so quickly.